You're listening to the Public Speaking Podcast.
The podcast where real humans talk about communication, presentations, meetings.
And what happens when you stand on stages around the world.
The good stuff.
And the awkward stuff.
And the stuff nobody teaches you.
All right, let's jump into today's episode. Welcome back to yet another episode of the Public Speaking Podcast. I'm Lucas, amateur speaker, CEO of HeadGain, and trying to be the host of this show. Together with me in the studio, the man with a new sunburn on his face. He's a little more gingerbread cookie than before because it's after summer. The guy that I love the most on the planet, the greatest coach alive, Mr. Alexander Grabner Jarlung.
Mr. Alexander Grabner Jarlung, coach of communication. Communication. I don't know even. Well, the thing is now when you're saying the gingerbread man. The communicate composure. The funny thing is that when I met Lucas yesterday, coming back from a couple of weeks of a holiday, first thing he says, like, Alex, your neck is all white. And that means that so if you look at this, you probably can't see it if you're listening to it, but I have a double I So whenever I was reading a bunch of Donald Duck magazines and I was sunbathing at the same time, meaning that I have an extra mouth on my neck. So yeah, but my name is Alexander. I work as a communication coach. I help you shine on any stage out there in the world and have done so for the last 13 years. That was a nice commercial about what I do and who I am. But thank you so much, Lucas.
Well done,
for
Mr.
that
Gingerbread Man.
That fantastic approach to this. That was great.
We
are back, guys. We are back, and we were never gone because you have probably listened to some great episodes that we have uploaded, and we are now back for the beautiful spring. The spring, it's fall.
The sprint of the fall.
The sprint of the fall, and we're having some cool guests coming up. But this time it's just me and Lucas, and we want to give you some valuable stuff because I know for a fact that you are either on holiday right now, just coming back from holiday, or just leaving for holiday, depending on where in Europe you are. So we want to give you some advice, and we want to have a little chit chat and discussion about what are the fall pits that you should avoid when coming back to work or coming back to work after going on holiday and then coming back to work. You get the picture. So Lucas, I'm saying this, working brain compared to holiday brain. Is there why a lot of people coming back? I know that I've spoken to some of my friends. They were like, "Oh, this is the final day. I'm coming back to work. I don't want to be there." Why do we always? Have you ever experienced that hesitation of coming back from a holiday to work?
I mean, yes and no. I guess it's a double-edged sword, that one. For me personally, like I'm a special person. I need to stay.
He's a special boy. He's a special boy.
He's very special. So I need to stay activated. I need to do something. So when I go on holiday, there's always a project. There's always something to do. Up until 23:32 on the eve of starting working, I was still painting my son's new bed. So for me, coming back, it's just like changing the task from one thing to another, I guess. But I have also been in that state where, holiday was really holiday. You didn't think about work. You didn't think about anything. And there wasn't a project to do. I actually had a summer like that a couple of years back. And
once upon a time, there was a vacation.
Yes, once upon a time, very wisely. And the thing is, going from that very serene state, very relaxed, and then coming back and having to do something, that's not the nicest thing because I really want to stay in this vacay mode. Can I just please? Yeah. And it's interesting because I haven't seen it yet, but I predict that within the next 2, 3, 4 weeks, I will go into the gas station. I will look at the headlines on the newspapers, on the newspaper stands, and they will all say, back to work anxiety, you are not alone, everyone's feeling it. So it's that part is coming. So I think the majority is not like me, where it's like, I need to do something, and then okay, well, working, let's go. Like I actually enjoy working. So I enjoy being back. First day was like, okay, strategy, what are we doing? What are we doing to this?
And I think that is what you're saying there, right, is a key component, because I was like the last week of holiday, I was like, I want to go back to work. I want to go back to work. I want to go back to work. Not because of the stress of it, because I just wanted to like, who can we help? And we had in the Speaking Blueprint, we had a good substitute coming in, Taz. She was running things. I'm like, okay, I know they've been in super safe hands, but I want to see the people again. I want to meet the people. I know that you and we didn't talk for 3 weeks. And then on the third week, coming up to the fourth week, we're like, I get a phone call from Lucas because I sent a message to and like in the group chat, on the working chat, because I knew he was going to take that when we came back yesterday. But he always goes like, hello? And he called me. I'm like, what, dude, why are you calling me? Like, I just missed the sound of your voice. And I think coming back to this, it's about the relationship you have to your work or whatever passion you have, or your passion is your work, vice versa. But as my friends, I'm not going to put words into their mouths and brain, but I think if you're feeling that you are seeing it coming back to work as something that is hard, maybe it's time for you to consider a little bit like, what is the driving factor right now? Is it the safe and security that you have to go? Is it a have to, or is it a want to? And I know we're coming back to the lessons that we have of mindsetting, Lucas. And that means that, are you cortisol driven or are you dopamine driven? Are you cortisol driven is going to be that I have to go back to work. But if you're dopamine driven, it's going to be, I want to go back to work. So I think, again, this is probably a provocation to people that are listening. Like, if you don't like what you're doing, quit and find something else. And then they're going like, Alex, that's easy for you to say. And that is a provocation that provoked me really much. But at the same time, you need to ask yourself the question, why are you feeling exhausted coming back to work? You just had holiday.
Yeah, but I think the thing is, like, when you go on a break, when you take a proper break and just get, what do you call it, distance to things?
Yeah.
And I don't have the science to back this, but isn't it more often that you decide to move when you're on vacation? So when you're coming back in the fall, you decide, yep, I'm out of here. I need a new house. Well, either way, I think that summer is a great, like when you go on vacation, sometimes you just realize that a change is needed. And I think what you said there was, when coming back to work for the both of us, was something that we wanted to do. And I've had great experiences with doing summers where I actually read a book or two on how to do my work better. So it's like more marketing strategy, or a development into like a new thought from another influencer. Just like, can I get a perspective on this? And then when I come back, I'm like filled up with ideas, which is really fun. But you said something funny about Arash and his post about coming back with ideas.
Yes, I loved it. I have to read this, what he wrote. This was so beautiful. So it's a guy that I've known for quite some time, and cool guy. He's one of the, sometimes you see a guy who's like, you know what, or a person is like, yeah, he's pretty cool. He rides a motorcycle. I ride a motorcycle. See, I had to get that in now in the fall as well. And he's such a genuinely cool guy. And what he ran on LinkedIn, it was a post where it stated like this: a pandemic is on the verge to break out in Sweden. Thousands of middle managements have had holiday and discovered social media. So kisses and hugs to all you content creators and everybody else creative who has to bear with these new beautiful ideas. And it was just one of those, yeah, I understand. I can feel this. Mid-management's coming back like, I was just discovering this social media. I don't know why I'm going in German. Like, I discovered this social media platform and we need to do exactly as this company does, because then that we have exposure and so on. And I can see like the content creators and the marketing strategists are like, yeah, but we already set something in before the summer break. Please just leave Brittany alone. Let me do my work. But
I already have a plan.
I already had a plan. So thank you, Arash, for sending that out. I love that. I love that comment. One thing though that leads into this with coming back mid-management, not mid-management, not really care about that. But when back in the corporate rounds, and even today, I think that you've had this, like, how was the vacation? Like people are asking like, so how was your vacation? And and the funny thing is that people don't really care about what the answer is. And this is like going to the States and you go into a shop, whatever shop it is. They always come in and like, hi, welcome to whatever it is, Factory 21. How are you doing? And you're going like, Well, thank you so much. Well, I'm having a little bit of a hard time, and like they don't want that answer because they're not listening. And that is the same thing in the same question, Lucas, that comes in. They're like, how was your vacation? Nobody listens. So what would be your top 3 things as an amateur speaker?
Whoa.
And when it comes to the, like, what would you answer? And what would be the
first
idea
of all,
for the
to be
people
honest,
listening?
if you ask me, you'll get the brutal, honest truth.
I
So
know.
when you did this yesterday, it was like, how was your vacation? I was like, horrible.
Yes.
What happened? And then I get to launch into the story of me and everything
Yeah.
that's happening to me, because I'm egocentric in that way. I like to speak about myself. No, but yeah, honestly, if people ask, I don't like empty questions. So if you ask me, you will get the God's honest truth. How was my vacation? And I'll tell you. And you'll learn to the next time that if you don't want a story, you don't ask Lucas.
That's someone else. That's true. That's true.
So one, be honest. I think that is it. I don't like just shallow chit chat, small talk.
Yeah.
I don't like. Be real. Be honest. Be truthful. Second of all, a great opportunity to practice your storytelling. Like if you're not back at work yet, you will get the question and you will have a chance to just think about the stories of this summer. What happened this summer? What was the good? What was the bad? What was the ugly? And just craft those little stories in your mind and get back. So it's a great opportunity to practice your storytelling. Thirdly, reminisce and be grateful.
Reminisce. Yeah.
Because just thinking back, like, okay, summer is over, which is horrible if you're in Sweden, because now the darkness comes. It's not as horrible as if you're living in Greenland or what's it, new Longyearbyen, where they have the 4 months of darkness. But still, we will soon be very much missing the sun. So just reminisce, enjoy, and just be grateful for what
now you gave
experienced.
Now you gave them water on their mill of going back. You're like, that's why I hate coming back to work.
That's why I hate
coming back to
just
work.
Be honest. Yeah. Well, that's my trick. So be honest, practice your storytelling, and just be grateful. There you go.
Yeah. You remember me? My advice? No, I don't have any advice. You gave up very good ones. The thing that I want to add on to would probably be, when it comes to your storytelling, push the anticipation. That is, again, key driver in many of our communicational opportunities, that we just need to drive the anticipation of what happened. When you said, I had a horrible summer, I'm like, what? Wait a minute. What the heck? Whoa. And then you waited and you just started explaining, well, I bought a new house, right? I'm like, yeah. And I told you about the little drainage problem that I had in the beginning when we moved in. I'm like, yeah. Well, it got worse. I mean, what got worse? It's like, okay, hold on to your horses here. Let's go. And then you ranted into how, back in the 60s and 70s when they built houses. I'm like, yeah, what about them? And then you just leaped into this beautiful story about how you need to spend roughly a lot of money to fix these things. But anyway, we don't have to disclosure that on the podcast. But it's again, when coming back and sorry, yeah?
No, go ahead. Just push it. Push that anticipation. It's two things. It's fun. And once you've learned it, you can fun. Just go on. It's
It's like the meat roar story with the dog, they put a voice on a dog. It was like, about the meat roar? He was like, yeah. What about it? Yeah, there was a piece of ham. Yeah. What about it? Yeah, I took out the ham and I looked at it. Yeah, and then what? And they were pushing that to, and it's off giving it to the cat. Like, no, that is a very good way of using very simple storytelling, pushing the anticipation. The coming back now to work. What are you? What's going to go down? What does people need to know now about where is HeadGain? What are we doing? People are now, more and more people are listening into the podcast. We're really grateful that you're doing, and don't forget to like and subscribe and hit that and comment as well. Ding, ding, ding. Like and subscribe. Ding, ding. You will have that somewhere over here. What else is going down? Because we're coming back now. We're full of energy. People are probably going to listen to this podcast episode going like, are they high? Yeah, we're high on life. # also a book that you can buy. But what are you saying, Lucas?
I would say have a look out for SpeakerX. SpeakerX is coming up this fall. We're doing a London edition, which is really nice.
Oh,
So we're taking,
UK.
yes, we're taking to the road. What do you call it? Well, to the plane, I guess. But either way, yeah. So we're going to travel from Sweden. We're going to go over to the UK, and we're going to do a very special SpeakerX edition London. So tickets for that will come out, and there's still during the recording of this, we have spots left for speakers, but cannot be certain. So check out headgain.com/SpeakerxUK to see if there are still spots available. Except for that, I would say we are going to go head down into the speaking blueprint and going to start changing things up. I cannot exactly say what's going down, but there will be some interesting changes, easier to get in for those that have been sitting on the sidelines, wanting to be part of a community, wanting to get more feedback, and wanting to just like get over the first hurdle. So I would say like we're speaking to 3 different kinds of people at all times. It's you're listening, you want to be a public speaker. You want to be a paid public speaker, you need a signature talk, you need a proven path to do that, you need a recording, and then you need the help to get actually booked. Like, we help with that. For those who are leaders and want to be more engaging, more activated, more like when you're as a leader, you're doing meetings daily, right? And you have to tell about what this quarter or what's happening in the fall, or let's get the motivation going, whatever it is. You need to be able to speak with engagement. We're going to help you with that. And for those who are just like, I wish I could just speak better. If I could tell one story better, I could probably get hired more. I really want that job. Maybe I want to climb the career ladder. Maybe I don't want it. But I would probably be a little bit better at selling or convincing or just finding a new whatever it is. Like everyone needs to be yes, there you go. So there are like 3, I guess 3 levels of things. We're going to make sure that whoever you are in those 3 brackets, we're going to serve you. And we're going to make sure that you get what you need and excel at what you're doing.
And see, this is the hard pitch. And guys, you who are still listening after we're talking about this, you just need to stop. Stop procrastinating this. And I'm not saying this to sell. I don't care about that. I'm just saying you need to stop. If you're struggling with anything, whatever it is with communication, stop doing it right now. Come and join us. Let me help you. Let Lucas help you. Let the community help you, because nothing bad ever comes to be good in communication. Nothing beats it. So I'm speaking to people like, but just join it. The investment you will make will be 10 times fold back. So I know I'm sounding frustrated, and you're probably doing this with your speakers right now or your headphones. You're like, why is Alex shouting? Because I get so frustrated just seeing you guys wait, and it's not a cartwheel that opens up and you win a lottery ticket that's already scratched. You put the effort in there, you'll come out much better, and you have to trust the process. I was just a regular Joe, and I'm still just a regular Joe. The only thing that differentiates me from me 13 years ago is that I have a hell of a lot more fun when I speak in front of my wife. Well, maybe not that one, but in front of Lucas, in front of my friends, in front of people that I don't know. And I have the confidence of doing it every single time. And you can as well. So that was the rant that I follow up on you, Lucas. Sorry about that. And sorry to listeners.
It's all good.
It's all good. It's all good, fam. It's all good, fam. We have also, like Lucas said, we have some cool things with the SpeakerX UK. There are things in the horizon that we can't even briefly talk about, but it's going to be mind-blowingly great. So you probably have to look out for that as well. The thing that I wanted to share also now is, when you come back to work, remember that be the person who inspires others. And I know this sounds like, this is one of those coaching calls now where he needs to put some inspiration, but this is just like, you have an opportunity now to share your story, what happened over the holiday. Share that, be vulnerable, share the things that were bad there, share the things that were great, because what happens then is that you set the platform for how the entire fall is going to be. So if you're in a leadership position, the people that work with besides you, they're going to look up on you and you're like, wow, that's so great that you shared this, and have a likelihood of more following what it is that you want them to do over the next couple of months until the next holiday comes in for the winter. If you're in mid-management, you're probably going to like, okay, I saw the social media, but I will take one step back and I will listen to what the content creators have already, because you have shared a story, they have shared a story. and you kind of meet in the middle ground instead of you just coming in and just like, we have to do the social media, yeah. And if you're just a simple average Joe and Juliet, when you come back to work, people will go like, well, that sounds like a really good one. Maybe next time we'd do something together. Would that be cool to the next holiday? Maybe they invite you because you shared something instead of just saying, yeah, it was good. And you sat there all by yourself. Who knows? Anyway, yes. So that was my advice. Be sharing the stories. There was something also on my mind, but I will leave that up to later when I remember what it was I was going to talk about, Lucas. So anyway, coming back to what we talked about here, the what are you looking forward most to in the fall now?
Good question. What am I most looking forward to? Is I have this sense again, like it's when you take a break from something, you think through what you've done in the past, or what I do. I see the mistakes I made, I see what was good, and then I can ask myself, okay, so how can I make an improvement this fall? How can I make something different? And so I'm really looking forward to just diving in deeper, more into the marketing end of what we're doing, sales end of what we're doing, because I think it's genuinely fun. And I've been listening to new audiobooks. As you know, there is not a there's no end to my ideas. I'll carefully scratch back and then find something that really works. But I'm excited about finding what works.
Yep. Cool. We this is the time where you're asking what am I looking forward to? But
but I did it in my head.
Ladies and gentlemen, Lucas is being a douche right now. He's being a douche. So thank you for the question, Lucas. Very good. So what I'm looking forward to this fall...
Alex, before you begin, I just have one question. What are you most looking forward to this fall?
Oh, I thought the question never would return back. What I'm looking forward to most for the fall now is the new things that we're planning, the new things that are going to be launched. Of course, that's very exciting. But I am really looking forward to see the growth of both this podcast, because I have had tremendous fun doing this with you and also with David back in the day. So I'm looking forward to see how this is evolving. I look forward to see what the blueprint is holding in for its development as well. But on my personal note, I am looking forward to see where the geek hell I'm gonna end up in when I'm moving from Sweden this fall. So for the ones who don't know, I have half and half. So half of the year I stay here and half of the year I stay somewhere else. And I do not know where the car is going to take me, my 2 dogs, and my wife this year, and I'm looking forward to that. I'm super excited. Are we going to be back in Sweden? Are we going to go to Spain? Are we going to Italy, the home of the pizza and the pasta? We don't know. Or maybe Austria with ein kleines Liter Schnitzel mit Kartoffelsalat dazu. We don't know. We'll see where that ends up. So that's what I'm looking forward to, Lucas. Just some average answer there.
Yes.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yes.
Well, really cool. I am looking forward to finding out where you're going to.
Yeah, I know. It's always a surprise. It's always I never tell them neither.
It is the big question, isn't it? Where is Alex?
Where is Alex?
Internet.
Yes, will he have internet connection? Well, that Starlink has provided that for several years now.
Well, yeah, good. Better than that Australian story time, but we'll take that another time.
Oh, that's totally different story. When Alex went to Australia and had to have good internet connection.
Alex, to wrap up,
yes,
I'm thinking, as I said, coming back from vacation, coming back from summer, great opportunity to practice some storytelling. Could you run through a simple story structure for the listener on just an easy thing for them to practice on?
Of course, my dear friend, I can do that. There are some different narratives that you can work with in Redes Mes. There's more narratives that you can probably have on your 10 hands. So that's why we have the simplest way of using the 4-step story structure. And it goes like this. Start with a preparation, a mood prep. Then go to a background. And then from the background, you give development. Then from development, you give the conclusion. Leading into, A lot of people just go into, when somebody tells you, look, how was the summertime? They jump right into the story of the development of what you have done over the year or over the summertime. But they rarely come to a conclusion. And you know how boring conclusion-less stories are. You're sitting there, you're waiting, and nothing happens. But we want to optimize things. So in the beginning of your storytelling, you need to mood prep them. And a mood prep can be that you're putting them in the mental state of something that you want them to feel already before you even said anything about the story. And now
like
you're Lucas saying
like things were horrible.
Yeah, things were horrible. Or you can say that craziest thing happened to me during this summer. Or you know what? I want to share this because I love you, but we need to have a talk. That can be emotionally setting things up to be like, what is going on? From there, you move into the background. The brain needs a little background to start putting anchors to understand, okay, so if I'm referring to something in the development of the story, I need to have the anchor, or where are we? Because if you said, you know what, the craziest thing happened to me in the summertime, the car started to take a fire, there's a fire that broke out in the car on the highway, and now your brain is going like, okay, what highway? What country?
Yeah,
what
that's
car?
a lot of unanswered questions.
It's a lot of unanswered questions. So you need to then set a little background of saying, so I went down, I took the car, drove down to Germany, and this is background. This is just setting, okay, I took the car, my car, you can share it even if it's a Volkswagen or whatever, but you took your car and you went down to Germany. Now, then you come into the development of the story. That's where you can say, and you know what, the car, there was a fire in the car. And that's where people miss out. They don't put the background in, they don't have the mood prep, and then they just jump right into the development of the story. And please, for heaven's sake, whatever you do, make sure you have some form of conclusion to the story. Because if you want to have the brain of the person that you're telling this to kind of wrap this up as a good story, you want to make sure that it's a conclusion to it. So that leads into the craziest thing happened to me the other week. I was on vacation. I took the car and I drove down to Austria. I passed Germany, and guess what happened in Germany? Everything went smooth sailing. I drove off the ferry. I passed customs, and I started running down the highway. And in Germany, they have the Autobahn, and the Autobahn is free speed, and I love free speed. Speed is the best thing there is. But you know what? The craziest thing happened on that highway. After I pulled off, I put some petrol into my car. I drove up back onto the highway. I started feeling this weird smell, Lucas, and it was like one of those contagious smells. You can understand what it is, but you can't locate where it comes from. And it was a little bit of a burnt rubber, like petrol burnt. It was weird. But anyway, I drove a couple of more kilometers, and I was, it was free speed. So I had 180, 190. Car doesn't go faster than that. But all of a sudden, I see this white mist coming out of the vents. And I'm like, oh, shoot, something bad is about to happen. So I just pulled off to the closest place that I could find where it was safe for me to stop. Wife screaming, dogs are just going, woo! Drove off, put the car in park, jumped out. And all of a sudden, I see flames coming up from the hood of the car. And I'm like, oh, shit. Oh, shit. What is going to go down? Wife is out. Dogs are out, luggage, don't care. It's materialistic. I can buy these things again. But you know what? When I stood there watching the car go up in flames, I came to a sense. I came to this. Life is more valuable than materialistic things. And the other thing that came to me is that free speed is one of the best things there is in life. See? Done. Boom. That's a story. None of these things happened, just so you know, guys. I didn't go down to Germany. My car did not go up in flames. My dogs are safe here. And yes, and 190 kilometers, I would never drive. But you see what happened there? We just a simple story structure, pushing the anticipation. There's a conclusion in the end. And bada bing, bada boom, you have a good story that people will remember.
I will not forget this. And I hope you listening don't need to tell a severe story like this, but have something else, but that you could draw learnings from the structure and use it when asked, how was your vacation?
Yes.
Alex, before we round off, is there anything you would want to say, or do you want to interrupt me in the ending?
No, I just want to say this. Well, I want to say something, but I'm not going to interrupt you. I'm going to say this. Thank you so much for listening to this podcast. Thank you so much for following us. Thank you so much for standing out and making yourself be a great person and be the best version of you there is. Don't forget to connect with myself and Lucas on LinkedIn or any other social media. We are there to please you. We're there to entertain you. And we're there to give you value so you can expand your communication skills to the highest level. So a heartfelt thank you. Looking forward to see you in the fall one way or another. Lucas, please take it away for the final remarks.
Well, thank you, Alex. And thank you for listening to yet another episode of the Public Speaking Podcast. It's been a pleasure. Don't forget, like, subscribe, holler at us, give us a 5-star review, make the podcast grow, because as we grow, you grow, and the world becomes a better place. Thank you. Arrivederci. See you next time. Tutti tutti, something you say, and then...
That's my line.
Kaboom!
Arrivederci tutti. That's my line.
Yeah, I know.
That's my line. Bye.
Sorry, stole it. Hey, thank you for listening. Bye. Bye.